Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you very much, Bona CS, for what is quite a comprehensive response. I have a couple of questions, and I'll start with the issue that you started with, the issue of children going back to school. Bona CS, I think one of the things that you've raised the issue that you do not have the capacity to do social distances in schools. Bona CS, we have children who are going to sit standard 8 exams this year. We have children who are going to sit Form 4 exams this year. We have told the entire education system as it is to go back 1 year essentially. I was reading an article in the New York Times that suggested Kenya is the only country in the world that has actually done that has lost an entire academic year. And it would be interesting to hear whether there's any other country that has lost an entire academic year because of COVID. Because COVID is in the whole world. So it would be interesting to know why we are the only country that has scrapped an entire education year. But then also, in terms of providing solutions, so that we're not just criticizing, one of the things I've wondered, every school, every student, when I was in Form 4, when I was in Standard 8, we didn't do exams for the year alone. If I remember correctly, though it might be a few years ago, Standard 8 as a year tended to be a revision year. What tended to happen is that you had the exam covering all the 8 years that you had gone in school, or the 4 years that you had done in high school. The question I'm asking is, why is it impossible to have Standard 8s and Form 4s actually sit an exam? Because they're going to sit, you can adjust the examination to cover, to factor in that they missed 2 terms. Then they cover the 3.5 years Form 4 high school students had covered, or the 7.5 years or 7 years that the primary school students had covered. Then all the other classes can transition and adjust their syllabuses next year to factor in the years the months that they were not in school. It seems a bit it seems a bit excessive that we have scrapped an entire academic year. Are we thinking about the mental health of all those children who are going to have to repeat a class in the entire country? I know you tell me that it is better for them to repeat a class than to get sick. But we also know the factors from a medical perspective that most children are actually being able to handle this disease. And then also as a government, we can factor how to protect the kids in Form 4 and Standard 8 to sit for the exams. That would be one question. My second question would be, what if we don't pick? What if we still have a problem in January? Are we going to say we're going to scrap yet another year? I mean, are we being proactive about this so that we know that if we don't pick in January, because nobody's in control of this disease, if we don't pick in January, are we saying we're going to scrap another year? So that would be my question on that issue. On the issue of money to schools, when you do capitation, I understand there's something called a fixed, there are fixed votes. For example, the issue of security, the issue of electricity, the issue of water. I hear you say that the watchmen are working. I know in my constituency, watchmen and schools are not being able to pay watchmen because they didn't get their capitation money. So it would be interesting to hear how you're doing that. My third and final question would be, we have seen other sectors giving stimulus packages for, like the hotel industry, places which have been affected by COVID. Is the Ministry of Education thinking about how to help some of the schools? We are seeing private schools closing, we are seeing some public schools struggling. Is there a structure to think about how to give a stimulus package for schools that are struggling through this period, so that they can be able to go through this period? Because again, it is something we are all going through. This would be my questions, Madam Chair.